G'day guys, welcome back. This video we're going to jump back onto the VS. So it's been in primer for a couple of weeks. It's had time to harden up and move around and shrink and do anything that it wants to do. So considering the last video actually really surprised me a lot how much attention it got. So I decided that I better hurry up and do an episode 2 because it looks like people are enjoying it. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to start by blocking down the roof and getting that ready for paint. Being that the roof on a VS Commodore is separate to the body, so it's not joined as one to the quarter panels or anything like that. I'm going to prep the roof first, and basically I'll paint the roof first, and then I'll do the rest of the body separately. That's my way of doing it. Everybody has their own way of how they do things. You could ask 10 different painters how they do it and you'll get 10 different answers. A lot of people like to just paint it all in one hit. That's fine. If that's how you want to do it, then by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead. But for me, I've just always found that I have better success painting the roof on its own and having the rest of the car taped off. So that's what I'm going to do with this car. Obviously, once I paint, the VL or something like that, it's all one, so I'll do all that together. But on this car, we're going to do the roof separate. So we're going to start by blocking this down with some 240 grit on a block, and hopefully it blocks up all good, and then we'll continue the process. So basically, the process that I'm going to use on this car is block with 240. And once it's all blocked and it's all looking pretty straight and good, I'll re-guide coat it. Then I'll sand it down with 500 grit on a sander with a soft pad on it. Once that's done, then I basically just wet rub with 800 around all the edges, and we're good to go. So yeah, I've been doing a few other little things as well that I haven't really filmed. I've got another car in to roll the guards. I'm not going to film that and do all that again, but I'll probably just do a quick little walk around to that car once I do the guards. Just because it's not a bad old jigger. It's a white VL Commodore, but it's pretty tidy. It's turboed. It's got some pretty good wheels and stuff on it. So probably interests someone. So I'll do a little walk around on that car once I do that. I've done a little bit on my VN as well that I'm going to get back on the road this year and put it on some Club Rego. I've had that car off the road for about 4 years now, so it's weird. I used it for a daily driver for about 4 years and hardly anything went wrong with it. Parked it in the shed here for 4 years and everything's decided to shit itself. So that's another video. I'll do a video on that car alone if it interests anybody. So but yeah, this video we're going to get stuck back into the VS, so let's hit it. Alrighty, so just for anyone who's playing along at home and wants to have a crack at their own car, I'll flip the camera around and give you a bit of a look. So this is what we're sort of looking for when we're blocking. I'll flip this around and I'll give you a look. So basically a guide coat, for those that don't know, it's basically just a dust coat. Generally it's, acrylic black, or you could use a bit of base coat or something like that. It's basically just dusting it over the primer. And then when you block it or you sand it, you're basically rubbing that off. And as you can see here, we're left with a couple of spots of guide coat. I haven't rubbed in here yet, but so basically what this tells you is it's low where these spots are, because the black guide coat is still on the panel. So yeah, if you're doing your own car at home and you're unsure, you know, with a guide coat and all that sort of thing, that's basically what the guide coat is helping you find, you know, all the imperfections. If there were pinholes or something like that, you would see the little black dots. So because these guide coat marks are here, we know it's not 100% flat. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to 180 on the block, and you always want to block in a cross-hatching motion. Okay, that's how you're going to get things as straight as you can possibly get them. So I'm going to swap to 180 on the block, and I'm going to give these a hit and try and straighten this up a bit better. Alrighty, so this was the area that we still had the low spots in. I've blocked that. It's fairly good, but as you can see now, the next drama we've gone through the primer to the filler. It's not a bad thing, it's not the end of the world if you do that, but generally once you rub through your primer back to the filler, stop, don't keep rubbing on that area. All we'll do there is we'll continue the rubbing process, and I'll basically just spot this area in before I paint it. So I'm going to continue rubbing the other half of the roof. I'll get that blocked up. From memory, this was the only part of the roof that actually had repairs on it. So that side should block up pretty nice. So yeah, this side's blocked up all pretty good, apart from this little pain in the arse there, but that's no big drama. So yeah, we'll jump on the other side and get that sanded out as well. So basically all I'm doing here, now that I've got the roof blocked, I'm just going to run a bit of paper just around the roof, and I'm going to re-guide coat the roof. So the paper is basically there so I don't go putting overspray all over the windows and making an absolute abortion of it. So that's all the paper is, just so I don't put overspray everywhere. It's not rocket science, but a lot of blokes are too lazy to do it, and you know, it just makes the car look like a real backyard is working on it if you got overspray all over the place. So yeah, 5 minutes, run some paper around it, and we'll get some fresh guide coat on this, and we'll keep sanding. Alright, so just a quick one on guide coat. Look, it's not rocket science. The one I'm using is actual guide coat. You don't have to get an actual can of guide coat. You can use, you know, acrylic black or something like that. The only thing I wouldn't recommend using would be like an enamel black, because all that's going to do is clog your paper up, and you're going to burn through material, and you know, nobody likes to waste money. So I think I paid about $15 for that. Obviously there's going to be cheaper things out there, but you know, don't go grab the Aussie Export and go slamming coats on. You're just going to gum up your paper and ruin it. So I don't always use this. I do have a powdered guide coat as well, but I'm using this one today. So yeah, just a quick little tip for anyone that's going to have a crack at home. So acrylic or a proper guide coat that you can buy, at your automotive paint shops. Steer clear of the enamel. Alrighty, so now that's got the guide coat on it, I'm going to switch to an air sander. And on this air sander, I've got a soft pad or a foam pad. These aren't expensive either. I know, do-it-yourselfers, budgets obviously important. So the thing is with this, you need it. If you were to start sanding that without that pad on it, so just using the hard, backing pad of the sander, chances are you're just going to blow straight through that primer, straight back to the filler, straight back to the old paint or bare metal or whatever is underneath there. So this soft pad, it's hook and loop, just goes on there. Your paper goes onto that, and that just helps the sander contour to the shape of the panel. So you're not going to burn, straight through your primer. So that's what that is for. And, if you are going to use an air sander, you need that. You need that soft pad. If you're going to, go ahead and rub the whole thing by hand, well, obviously you don't need it. But, yeah, with the air sander, definitely get the soft pad. And always try and invest in the best sandpaper that you can afford. I wouldn't go and recommend going to, your hardware store and buying the cheap stuff that you find there on the shelf, because it's not designed for it. It's not going to work as well as automotive paper is going to work. So, if you're going to be doing it yourself and saving money, rather than paying a professional or paying someone else to do it, if you're handy to do it yourself, then realistically, there's really no reason to skimp out on materials because you're not paying for labour. So, that's my opinion on it anyway. If you're not paying someone, well, you can afford to buy the best things that you can possibly afford. So, soft pad on the sander, and let's get into it. All we're trying to do here is remove the scratches from the block. From the blocking process. That's all we're doing. We're not taking the primer right off. We're not, going to town on it. All we're doing is removing those 180 or 240 scratches, whatever you've blocked it with. And that's it. We're going to be good to go. So let's jump into it and get it knocked over. Alrighty, so now we're done with the air sander. We've basically got all the scratches out, which is what we're after. It's probably a bit hard to see on camera, but they're all gone. So that's what we're after, just a nice, smooth, scratch-free surface. Obviously, apart from our little blow through here, but we're going to sort that out. Right through down onto the pillars. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where I'm going to paint the roof separate. So I'll probably mask this off, this little trim here or under here, wherever I decide on the day. And I'll paint all the roof separate. And once that's done, I'll move along and paint all the body. That boot lid's coming off. So the roof, I'll do all the body. So this side, the bonnet, the other side. And then I'll do a separate run with the back and the front bumper and the second-hand boot lid that's going on. So, yeah, that's basically what we're after right there. So that'll do it. So next we're going to do, obviously, all the edges. I like to wet rub with 800, all the edges. You don't have to. You can dry sand it with, 800 or 500, whatever you've got. But I like to go over everything wet. I just think it leaves a nicer finish on it, and it leaves the panel pretty clean too. So yeah, that's all done, ready for the edges to be done. I'm not going to do them tonight because it's getting a bit late, so I'm going to probably stop it there. But yeah, a little bit of progress is good progress, better than none. All right, guys, so I'm going to finish the video up there. I know it wasn't too thrilling of a episode, but look, if you're going to be painting your car, you're going to be doing a lot of sanding. So this video is more, I guess, to give you a bit of help as to what to do and you know, how to go about it and what you're looking for. So I'm going to finish this up here, and the next video I will already go ahead and wet rub all the edges and basically have it ready to go. So this is just a video to you know, show a little bit of progress and get another video out to you guys, and keep you entertained, hopefully. I just wanted to say thank you to all the new subscribers and everybody that's come across and check my stuff out and hit the subscribe button to follow along with what I'm doing. It means a lot and it helps me out a lot. So yeah, hopefully I'm not letting you down, but this car will be getting painted in the next video that I do on this car. I'll be doing the roof on it, getting it painted, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give me a like, leave me a comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.